Hi there, and welcome to this week's edition of Top End Track Talk. I'm Andrew O'Toole, and today we'll be previewing this coming Saturday's meeting here from Fanny Bay, which will be Tab Rowant Gold Cup Day, the 25th of June. Day Zero, as Rowant Day has come to be known, is always a good pointer to carnival features, and this year will be no exception. The Cup itself is a little on the light side with just the 6 acceptors, but in the other events on the card, there is no shortage of quality or quantity. The first race is timed to go at 2:06 p.m, with the last of the 7 scheduled to jump at 5:40 p.m. In the first, the Darwin Horse Floats handicap, it's the 0 to 70 and over the 1600 metres, so unusual we have the mile early in the day. We normally have it late in the day, but it's race 1 on Saturday, and my numbers are 5, 3 and 1. Number 5, Pembroke Castle, my selection here, trained by Mark Nine, and Jade Hampson takes the mount here. Jade was a 4 kilo claim until last weekend. She rode 3 winners last weekend, 1 here in Darwin, 2 in Alice Springs, so she's lost that 4 kilo claim, so she's down to 3. A 3 kilo claim for young Jade, only been riding for a very short time, has already racked up 6 winners, and she takes the mount here on Pembroke Castle, who she rode here last time out on the 11th of June. Good run too, ran second to Tug of War, only just beaten narrowly on that occasion. Has yet to win at the mile, 5 starts for 3 seconds, but gets a good opportunity here, and I think can be very hard to beat. Number 5. To beat number 3, Obligatory, last start winner over this trip, trained by Gary Clark. Jared Todd as normal in the saddle. He's only had the 3 starts at the trip for a win and a second, and he was good the other day, I thought, beating home Captain Heddlewick over the trip of a mile, so he's sure to be hard to beat. And in for third, number 1, Dominus, trained by Chris Nash and Adam Nichols in the saddle. He's had just the 1 start here in Darwin. That was over 1200 metres in open sprint grade, but stepping up to this trip shouldn't worry him. He trialled earlier this week and trialled in pretty good fashion, so I understand. Didn't see the trial, but understand he went well, and Adam Nichols, as I mentioned, takes the mount here. So numbers in the first are 5, 3 and 1. The second is the UCART Concrete Trobus Handicap. UCART and Jimmy Kerr and the team have been great supporters of Rowant Day for many, many years, and they sponsor the Trobus Handicap here. It's a 0 to 58, and this one over the 1200 metres. Numbers here, 1, 2 and 6. He was good resuming the other day, number 1, Mr. Boom Jangles, trained by Gary LaFoe and Paul Shires in the saddle. He was doing his best work late behind Noble War. Noble War won impressively on that occasion, but I thought the way he hit the line, Mr. Boom Jangles, would be hard to beat here. Probably be better if it was 1300, but that said, he has won at the 1200 before, and I'm sure it'll be very hard to beat. Number 1. Ahead of number 2, Pop Magic, trained by Ella Clark. It was a last start maiden winner in the hands of Stan Sakos. Stan takes the mount again for Ella. He's obviously going up in grade, won a maiden now into the 58s, but did a good job, I thought, the other day in beating Holmes, her father's horse, Akoni. But hopefully Pop Magic will go a good race for Ella and the Women and Thoroughbred Racing team, who are co-owners of the horse. And in for third, number 6, Starlight Rebel. Kim Healy trains, Wayne Davis aboard. Good to see Wayno with a good weekend last week, a winner here in Darwin and one in Alice Springs on the Sunday. And Starlight Rebel hasn't raced since the 29th of April. That was in Alice Springs when she broke her maiden status over 1100 metres, so fresh up, but should race well. In the second, my numbers are 1, 2 and 6. The third's the JSM Civil Handicap over the 1200 as well. This for the 0 to 66 gallopers, and a good size field to go around here. Numbers in this are 7, 4 and 1. Well, Noble War has been racing in very good form for Tayan Halter. Has 3 wins from her last 5 starts and was super impressive, I thought, winning last time out, beating Star of Monsoon. That was here on the 4th of June. Critically, she drew 1 on that occasion. She's drawn 1 again, and I think that's a big advantage to her. Sure, she's up in grade. That was a benchmark 54, so up to the 66 is quite a step up, but just racing well in well at the draw, as I mentioned, and be hard to beat. Number 7. To beat number 4, Elmore Lad, trained by Kim Hahn. Kim's having a really good run with his little team here in the top end, of course, the Bendigo trainer. Adam Nichols aboard, 4th here last time behind Tug of War, so dropping in grade and a little bit back in trip, but should race well again, Elmore Lad. And in for third, a newcomer to Darwin, number 1, Norse Mythology. Not the easiest to say for Craig Sant, but I'm sure he'll spit it out. Norse Mythology. Jared Todd aboard for Gary Clark. As I mentioned, a newcomer to Darwin, but some pretty fair form in Queensland behind it. 23 starts, 3 wins, 7 seconds and 2/3. So certainly a consistent galloper. Numbers in the third, 7, 4 and 1. We move to the fourth, the Rowant Members Handicap, this over the 1100 for the 0 to 62 sprinters. Numbers here 2, 6 and 7. Number 2 on top for me, Manly Cove from the Clark stable again, and Jared Todd in the saddle. He'd been a little disappointing, but last time out showed something more like his best. He finished second behind stablemate Global Wonder. That was after taking on Emerald Court in the lead throughout. So not surprisingly, he tired over the concluding stages, but he didn't drop out altogether. And I thought to run second was a pretty good run. Drawn 4, nice draw for him. He should be very hard to beat. In for second, number 6, Star of Monsoon. Johnny Peacock having a good run with his little team. Adam Nichols takes the mount here. 2 seconds, his last 2 behind Blueberry Boy and Noble War. Drops in trip a fraction, 100 metres back, but shouldn't worry. Star of Monsoon, number 6. And in for third, the fresh runner, number 7, Sweet Chevelle. Joe Banks train, Stan Sakos aboard. Hasn't raced since the 25th of March, but pretty smart on his day is Sweet Chevelle, and I think he can complete the trifecta. 2, 6 and 7, my numbers. We move to the 5th, the Nisifora Group Handicap. This one of the really exciting races on the day I'm looking forward to, the 1,000-metre event for the 0 to 76 sprinters. Look to this race to provide some fireworks and certainly some good pointers to later in the carnival. My numbers here are a 3, 2 and 1. They both come out of the same barn, these horses. Ideas Man and Poo Pee, and I've got them to run 1 and 2. Ideas Man trained by Chris Nash and Paul Shires aboard. Very good winning here last time out over this trip in 0 to 70 grade. So going up in grade, but did a good job from a wide gate. Has drawn better this time in barrier 3. Should be able to, I would think, lead on the fence and will take plenty of running down. Poo Pee, been doing nothing wrong, trained by Tom Logan. Sonia Wiseman aboard. 3 starts in Darwin for 3 wins, this little mare. Has had a freshen up, hasn't raced since Anzac Day, and has drawn a little awkwardly out at barrier 6, so be interesting to see just how the races run as to where Poo Pee settles in the run. But I've got it in to run second, and in for third, number 1, Papalette. Adam Nichols for Gary Clark, drawn the inside, and a last start effort behind Maserati I thought was a little more like Papalette's best. Has been a little out of form recently, but might be back on the way back. So numbers in the 5th, 3, 2 and 1. We move to the feature, the Tab Rowant Gold Cup worth $25,000, the open handicap on the day. Obviously been a good race over the years, a good pointer to carnival features. Of course, last year this race was won by Highly Decorated, who went on and won the Chief Minister's Cup and, of course, the Darwin Cup. So it's a really good pointer to upcoming carnival features. Numbers for me in the Rowant, only half a dozen engaged here, which is a little disappointing, but nevertheless an interesting race. 3, 5 and 1 for me. Number 3, Giant Leap on top. That man Gary Clark again, Jared Todd in the saddle. Only had the 2 starts in Darwin for a win over this trip, and then a second the other day behind his stablemate, the incomparable, the Captain. I think the 1300 will certainly suit Giant Leap at this stage of the prep, and I think he'll be winning the Rowant Cup, number 3. Ahead of number 5, Sakaro, trained by Phil Cole, and Sonia Wiseman takes the mount here. Was impressed with the way this horse finished off the other day behind Highly Decorated. That was over the 1200 metres. No doubt the step to the 1300 metres will be to his liking. And yeah, pretty capable galloper, I think, Sakaro. So watch for him to go a bold race. And in for third, number 1, Noir de Rue. Jason Manning had a good win last week with Niwand, and I think Noir de Rue will take plenty of beating here. Of course, second in the Darwin Cup just under 12 months ago. Been racing in Adelaide and racing well too in good company at Morfettville. A second and a fourth from his last 2 starts. So look to him to go a very good race as well, number 1. 3, 5 and 1 my numbers in the Rowant Gold Cup. And in the last, the On Fire Racing Maiden Plate. Good to see the On Fire Racing boys getting behind a race on Rowant Day. This one for the non-winners, of course. My numbers here are 9, 1 and 12. 9 on top, and it is Lady Toucan, trained by Heather Lehman, and Paul Denton in the saddle. Thought it ran on really well first up on the track. That was on the 11th of June behind Pop Magic. No reason it can't improve off the back of that first start in its life, actually. It was its first career run. So I've got it on top here, number 9, to beat number 1, Boy Big. Stan Sakos for Kim Hahn. Third here the other day behind Wolfburn. Unfortunately, Wolfburn came out and disappointed after that, but that said, I think Boy Big is in this maiden right up to his ears. And in for third, number 12, and it's over the page, and it's Teaming at Times, trained by Gary Clark, Jared Todd aboard, a visitor from the southern states, actually sent up by Shane Bottomley. He trains the horse down there in the Gary Clark stable. 1,300 metres I thought would help this horse. I didn't mind its run the other day behind Super Famous. Finished fifth, that was over the 1,200. This trip should suit better. The best bet of the day is in race 4, number 2, Manly Cove. I think he can get back to his very best here. He's capable on his day, and that last start effort showed that he's not far away from returning to his best. So race 4, number 2, Manly Cove. While the best roughie is in the second, race 2, number 3, We Will Remember. Keep this one safe. We Will Remember, race 2, number 3. Well, that wraps up this edition of Top End Track Talk. We'll be back again in advance of our next meeting here in the Top End, which of course will be day 1 of the Great Northern Darwin Cup Carnival, the first of 8 fabulous days of racing culminating in Darwin Cup Day on the 1st of August. And of course that first day features the $75,000 Darwin Guineas for the 3-year-olds. Should be a cracker. I'm certainly looking forward to it. And until next week, good luck and good punting.